Hello everyone, welcome to course study on solid mechanics. Now in today's lecture we are going to discuss the concept of moment of resistance and section modulus. Now first of all we will discuss the concept of moment of resistance. What does it mean? Now when a beam is subjected to pure bending, the layer above the neutral axis will be subjected to compressive stresses and the layer which is below the neutral axis will be subjected to tensile stresses. All of you know that in case of pure bending of the beam will bend into the arc of the circle. Therefore, the layer which is above the neutral axis, it is under compression, whereas the layer which is below the neutral axis, it is under tension. Therefore, due to that, the tensile and compressive stresses will be developed within the section of the beam. Therefore, there will be the force acting onto the layer of the beam due to these stresses. As the beam is subjected to a compressive stresses and the tensile stresses, due to that stresses, it is subjected to the forces, and due to that there will be the force acting onto the layer of the beam due to those stresses, and hence there will be the moment of these forces about the neutral axis too, because all of you know that sigma is given by force upon A. As the beam is subjected to the compressive stresses and the tensile stresses, that is sigma. Once you know the value of sigma, we can easily find out the value of force from this equation, because force is equal to sigma into A. So this value of sigma we will use to find out the value of force into the section of the beam. Once you know the value of force, we can easily find out the value of moment also, because all of you know that moment is given by force into perpendicular distance. Means what is the step-by-step procedure? First of all, we have to find out the value of sigma from the stresses, tensile and compressive stresses. Once you know the value of sigma, we can easily find out the value of force, because area we can calculate by using this. The thickness of the strip is dy and its width is b. We can easily find out the area. Once you know the area and sigma, we can easily find the value of force. Once you know the value of force, we can easily find out the value of moment too. Therefore, we will consider there will be the force acting onto the layer of the beam due to these stresses, and there will be the moment of these forces about the neutral axis too. Therefore, the total moment of these forces about the neutral axis of the section will be termed as moment of resistance of that particular section. Once you know the value of total moment, that total moment is nothing but it is the moment of resistance of the section. Therefore, from figure, consider a rectangular cross section of the beam. From figure, we have to concentrate on rectangular cross section of the beam. In that rectangular cross section, you have to consider a small strip of thickness dy. You can see from figure the thickness of the strip, which is at a distance of y from the neutral axis, it has thickness equal to dy, and at a distance of y from the neutral axis. Therefore, the force acting onto the layer due to the bending stress will be dF equal to sigma into dA. Now, as we have concentrated on a very small strip of thickness dy, we will find out the value of force by using sigma. Therefore, force is given by sigma is equal to force by A. Therefore, force is equal to sigma into A. But as we have concentrated on a small strip, therefore we have to consider dF, which is equal to sigma into dA, because it has a small force and a small area also for that particular strip only. Once you know the value of force, we can easily find out the value of moment, because all of you know that what is moment. Moment is a force into distance. Therefore, dm is equal to df into y. df is nothing but it is the value of force on a small strip and a perpendicular distance is y. Therefore, as we have already calculated the value of df, this value of df we are going to put into this equation. On putting this value into this equation, I have dm is equal to sigma into dA into y. But as already calculated this equation, sigma upon y, which is equal to E upon r, from this equation we have sigma is equal to E upon r into y. On putting this value into this equation, I have dm is equal to E upon r into y into dA into y. Therefore, the value of moment on a small strip is given by E upon r into y square dA. This is the value of, remember that this is the value of moment on a small strip only. Now we are going to calculate the value of total moment for the entire section. To calculate the value of total moment for the entire section, we have to consider the integration of this equation. Because this is the value of moment for a small strip only, to find out the value of total moment for the entire section, you integrate this equation over the limit. Therefore, the integration of dm is equal to integration of E upon r into y square dA. Therefore, we have, as E upon r is constant, it is already discussed in the earlier video also. E upon r is constant, therefore it will take out from the integration sign. We have m is equal to E upon r into integration of y square into dA. Therefore, as we know that y square into dA is nothing but it's a moment of inertia. By using parallel axis theorem, we have moment of inertia integration of y square dA equal to I. Therefore, on putting the value of integration of y square into dA equal to I have the final equation m is equal to E upon r into I. After rearranging the equation, I have m upon I equal to E upon r. Therefore, we have already calculated the value of sigma upon y, which is equal to E upon r. In the same manner, we have another value of E upon r is equal to m upon I. Therefore, we have two equations which are equal. If I equate the equation 1 and 2, I have the final flexural formula, which is equal to m upon I sigma by y, which is equal to E by r. Remember that this is the final equation of the flexural formula or bending stress formula, m upon I sigma by y E upon r. All are equal. From this equation we have m is equal to the maximum bending moment. Remember that from this equation we are going to discuss each and every term right now. M is equal to the maximum bending moment, sigma is equal to the bending stress in the beam, I is the moment of inertia about x axis. We have to consider I about x axis only. Y is the distance measured from the neutral axis. As shown in the figure also, y is nothing but the distance from the neutral axis. E is equal to Young's modulus of elasticity and r is known as radius of curvature. This above formula which we have derived is based on the theory of pure bending. Now we are going to discuss the concept of bending stress distribution diagram. What does it mean? Now, as we have already derived the formula m upon I, which is equal to sigma by y E upon r, the same formula we are going to use over here. We have m upon I equal to sigma by y equal to E upon r. After rearranging the equation, we have sigma is equal to, if I concentrate on these two equations only, I have sigma is equal to E upon r into y. It means that for a given value of E upon r, as it is constant one, sigma is directly proportional to y. As sigma is directly proportional to y, it means that as the value of y increases, the value of sigma also increases, and as the value of y decreases, the value of sigma also decreases. Remember that the power of y is 1. It means that for a given value of y, the variation in the sigma is linear 1. When the power of y is 1, it means that the variation of sigma with respect to y is linear 1. Now, if I concentrate on this figure, from this figure at the neutral axis we have y is equal to 0, and at the extreme fiber I have the maximum value of y. So it means that the value of sigma, it varies with the y. This is the bending stress distribution diagram for the various cross section. First of all, we will concentrate on rectangular cross section which has a height h. For the height h, I have the shear stress, I have the bending stress distribution diagram in this manner. This is the neutral axis for the entire section, and this particular neutral axis, above the neutral axis there is a compression, therefore it is sigma c, and below the neutral axis it is subjected to tension, therefore we have sigma t. In the same manner, if we concentrate on I section also, we have above the neutral axis compression stresses, below the neutral axis tension stresses, but it is for the simply supported beam only. For the simply supported beam, the layer which is above the neutral axis, it is in compression, whereas the layer which is below the neutral axis, it is in tension. If I consider a cantilever beam, the case will be reverse. For a cantilever beam, suppose this is a cantilever beam which is subjected to UDL. Under the action of UDL, the beam will bend in this manner. Therefore, if this is a neutral axis over here, the layer which is above the neutral axis will be in tension, and the layer which is below the neutral axis will be in compression. This is the converse of the simply supported beam. Remember that in case of simply supported beam, the layer which is above the neutral axis will be in compression, whereas the layer which is below the neutral axis will be in tension. And in case of cantilever beam, the layer which is above the neutral axis will be in tension, the layer which is below the neutral axis will be in compression. This is the shear stress distribution diagram. This is the shear stress distribution diagram. This is neutral axis, and as we have already discussed, the value of sigma varies linearly with the y, so this is the linear variation over here. This figure shows a linear variation. As the value of y increases, the value of sigma also increases, and at neutral axis we have y equal to 0, therefore the sigma will be 0. Now we will define the moment of resistance in general. Moment of resistance is the maximum bending moment resisted by the section. In the simple definition of moment of resistance is the maximum external bending moment resisted by the section is nothing but moment of resistance, and that moment of resistance by a flexural formula is given by I upon y into sigma, because we have flexural formula m upon I which is equal to sigma by y which is equal to E upon R. If I concentrate on first two equation, we have m is equal to sigma I upon y into sigma. Therefore, I have moment of resistance is equal to sigma into z, where z is equal to the section modulus. So from this equation we can say that the section modulus or modulus of section is the ratio of moment of inertia of the cross section about neutral axis to the distance of extreme fiber from the neutral axis. So how to define the section modulus? It is denoted by the letter Z, and it is the ratio of moment of inertia of the cross section about neutral axis to the distance of the extreme fiber from the neutral axis. Therefore, we have, if I put the value of I, that is mm raised to 4, and if I put the value of y, it is in mm, so mm raised to 4 divided by mm will get cancelled. We have the unit of moment of section modulus equal to mm cube. Therefore, mathematically section modulus is given by z is equal to I upon y max. Why we have considered y max? Because it is the extreme fiber from the neutral axis. For a symmetrical section, just like a rectangular section, I section, we have moment of resistance in compression is equal to moment of resistance in tension, because it is symmetrical about xx axis. But if I consider the unsymmetrical section, just like a T section or L section, the moment of resistance in compression is not equal to moment of resistance in tension. That is, sigma c is not equal to sigma t, because for unsymmetrical section the position of neutral axis it changes, and as the position of neutral axis changes, the value of stress it also changes. Now we are going to discuss the design criteria for the strength of material. The condition of strength or of design is mathematically given by sigma t maximum is less than equal to sigma t allowable. As actual, sigma t maximum means the maximum stress in tension, it must be less than or equal to allowable stress. The allowable stress means that if your stress exceeds above the allowable value, then there may be the chances of failure of material. So for the design purpose, your maximum value of stress in tension or in compression must be less than its allowable value, less than or equal to allowable value. This sigma t maximum is given by m upon I into yt maximum by using Fitzgerald formula, and sigma c maximum is given by m upon I into yc maximum, again by using Fitzgerald formula. Therefore, I have sigma maximum is equal to m upon z, because z is equal to I upon y maximum. Remember that as the value of z increases, the strength of the section also increases, because z is a ratio of I upon y. As the value of z increases, means the value of I will go on increasing, and as the value of I increases, the section will become stronger and stronger. This is all about the design criteria of the section, moment of resistance, section modulus, and Fitzgerald formula. In the next lecture, we will discuss about the numerical which are based on the Fitzgerald formula. We will stop here. Thank you.